Hey everyone, welcome back to John's Watch. Today I'm taking a look at a visual novel that's just been ported to Nintendo Switch called The Language of Love. The Switch version costs $11.99 US, or your regional equivalent. It was released on Switch on October 30th, 2020. The original's PC version was released in May 2019, and it's developed by Ebihime, and the Switch version is published by Ratalaika Games. I've covered a few of their Switch ports now. Love how many visual novels they're porting over, it's great. I'm just going to read the short description on the store page. It says, Mitsuki moves from the country to Tokyo to attend a rigorous cram school with the hopes of passing his university entrance exams next spring. He soon finds, however, that his other classmates treat him like a social outcast, being the oldest at his school by far. It proves impossible to make friends, and Mitsuki consigns himself to an isolated, lonely existence. That is, until he meets the single mother, Himuro Kyouko, who just so happens to live in the same apartment complex as him. Mitsuki offers to help Kyouko babysit her daughter Tama. Kyouko in turn helps Mitsuki study for his upcoming exams. Over the course of a year, the two bond, first as friends and then as something more. So it sounds like a very cute story. It's a kinetic visual novel, so no choices. Apparently it's got about 80,000 words, which is approximately 5 to 6 hours of reading, depends on how fast you read. And another feature is a cute single mother, so that sounds great. I sometimes wonder if other 23-year-olds feel quite as old as I do. I'm only 23, I try to reassure myself. I still have my whole life ahead of me. I moved out of my tiny village, and I've gone to study in a city near Tokyo so I can get into a good university. I'm going to pass my university entrance exams, I'm going to work hard, and then, when I finally put my education behind me, I'm going to get a good career. I'll achieve things with my life even if it kills me. Not sure if that'll work very well. I just want to succeed. I have a lot to look forward to, and I've barely taken my first steps into adulthood. There's no time to get depressed now. But no matter what I tell myself, it never sticks. Sometimes these words help me get to sleep at night, but they seem particularly hollow and empty when I'm at cram school, surrounded by students almost 5 years younger than me. I really am getting old. I'm old compared to my peers, at least. I think I might be the oldest in my class. The others are all 18, with a handful of 19-year-olds sprinkled here and there. This is so funny because this is like word for word what Chris has told me. He started a new program a couple of years ago, and like when he started it was just all 18-year-olds, and it was him being like 25 or something. So don't worry, people understand Mitsuki. Even my teacher, Miss Sozunaki, looks to be around 25 or 26. Now that's a grim thought. I must be closer in age to my teacher than I am my classmates. Not that I really feel like classmates. Cram school doesn't feel like real school either. It's a place where failures and dropouts go so they can relearn all the things they should have learned back in high school. We don't cover any new material. We just rehash everything we were taught in the past over and over again on a loop. It feels like I'm going around in circles, swallowing my own tail with each step like an Ouroboros. I've only been in the city for around a week, and I'm already exhausted. Paradoxically, my days here are less packed than they were when I lived out in the countryside. Other than cram school, my days are almost depressingly empty. I get up in the mornings, brush my teeth, put on my clothes, I catch the train to cram school, and I sit at my desk for hours reading textbooks and answering the teacher's questions. We have a lot of practice exam papers to work through, so there's always something to study for, though the exams themselves are 8 months away. When I'm done with school, I take the train back home, and then I while away my time until the night finally falls. That is just very depressing. There are too many hours in the evenings, and I just don't know how to fill them. My classmates look like they lead fun, exciting lives, but that's why they failed their university entrance exams the first time around. They're too busy going to bars, karaoke parlors, or the arcades. But nobody's invited me to a bar, or a karaoke parlor, or an arcade. I'm too old. Perhaps I could have had a painless time if I told a few white lies when Miss Sonazaki asked us to introduce ourselves during our first day of school, but I didn't. And now they hate me. For some ungodly reason, I was seized by a sudden need to tell the truth, and I confessed my real age to my classmates. I wanted them to know right off the bat that my name is Tanamura Mitsuki. Yeah, I like the actress, but it's not written the same way. It's so funny. So funny they wrote that. So I was like, oh, Tanamura, like the director of Dark Souls 2. And then it was like in parentheses, yeah, like but it wasn't director of Dark Souls 2. It was like some actress that I don't know. but I do know Tanamura, director of Dark Souls 2. I might be a bit older than the rest of you, try a lot, but I hope we can all get along in the future. Star. As if. I think I could have made a few friends if I'd kept my shameful secret under wraps. I mean, it's not like I look much older than everyone else. But it's too late now, the cat's already out of the bag. My classmates don't want to associate with me. They don't even want to look at me. Enjoy it, mate. Who needs classmates? Can't say I blame them either. I also hate old people, he thought to himself. I'm only 23 and I feel positively ancient. I'm closer to 20 than 30 and the world should be my oyster. God, I hate this young man so much. How can the world be my oyster, I ask, when I've never had an opportunity to cast out my net? I'm afraid I'll never get the chance. Fuck, I was 20 when I started YouTube, you fuck. Don't talk to me about being old. I passed the gates of a small playground, driven by the single-minded desire to get inside before the heavens unleash their load on my unsuspecting head when... Not here, it's not here either. Hmm? Now what could that be? Where is it? Where did it go? I can't see their speaker. I can't see the speaker, but their voice sounds breathy and high-pitched. Yes, I could hear that. Their frantic words are choked with tears, and it's obvious they're upset. If I had to hazard a guess, I'd say that voice belongs to a little kid. I mean, why else would they be in the playground? I wonder what happened. I open the low metal gate, which parts with a creak, and glance around. Look at those smiley, rocky things. I want those. The playground is fairly nondescript, much like everything else around these parts. I can see a few swings and slides, but they're rusty with age, just like the gate. It's all very typical. Standard. Uninteresting. Well, what else would be here? A portal to another dimension? There is a child, though. The girl's crouched on the ground by the swings. Her hair is short and dark, and her eyes are filled with tears. Nice strawberry, though. I don't make a habit of talking to young kids, but something about her looks vaguely familiar. I wonder why. Mama told me not to go outside. I should have listened, but... She hiccups. Her shoulders tremble. It looks like she's crying. Is there anything I can do to help? Excuse me. Oh! The little girl jumps at my introduction, timid though it is. She must have been sobbing so much she didn't hear the gate creaking or my approaching footsteps. Sniffling frantically, she's trying to suck her snot back up into her nostrils. She lifts her head and wipes her red eyes with the back of her arm. Do I know you? Gee, I don't know. Do you? Just instantly sass as a kid. Nice. The girl frowns. She looks confused. I guess that wasn't the nicest greeting in the world. No, it was pretty passive-aggressive. Sorry, I didn't mean to upset you. Is something wrong? Yeah, something bad happened. Bad? I crouch down beside the girl, bringing our faces level. Like, what exactly? It's all my fault. You won't tell my mama, will you? That depends on what your problem is. Will you tell me what's wrong? Please, I can't help you if I don't know. You'll help me? I'd like to, if you'd let me. Well, the thing is, I kinda lost the key to my house. Your key? I can't get back in without it. And where do you live exactly? Over there, over yonder. The girl points to the nearby apartment complex. Ah, now I understand. That must be why this girl looks so familiar. She lives in the same building I do. I must have seen her in passing before, but her face never registered in my mind. Well, I doubt I'll forget her after all this. So, were you at home by yourself? That's right, Mama left to go to the store. She told me to stay inside, but she was gone for a long time. I got hungry, so I used the spare key and went to the convenience store. And then you dropped your key. Do you know when your mother will be back? The girl shakes her head forlornly. How long has she been gone? I don't know, I think she left around 4. It's been over an hour then. That really is a long time to leave such a little girl at home on her own. What about your dad? Don't have one. Oh, well, talk about awkward. I'm sorry? Why are you sorry? It's not your fault. Ah, I guess you're right. How long have you been looking for your key? I don't know, forever. The little girl looks at me earnestly, her eyes wide in a manner that suggests it really might have been forever. But knowing how kids are, I decide to err on the side of caution. Translated from a child's parlance, forever equates to about 10 minutes, maybe less. That does sound like a predicament. Tell you what, would you like me to help you search for your key? You would? I can't promise I'll find it, but I'll do my best. We should be careful though, looks like it's gonna rain soon. Right, then we should start looking. Mama always says 2 heads are better than 1. The girl clasped her hands together with newfound determination. God, her eyes are so cute. They're like half of her face. Her eyes are still red and puffy, but at least she stopped crying. Do I deserve some kind of trophy? But maybe if you find the key, buddy. So, mister. Yeah? What is it? I was wondering, what's your name? It's Mitsuki. Mitsuki. That's a pretty name. I'm glad you think so. At least this girl won't make wisecracks about the director of Dark Souls 2, Tanimura. Probably because she's never heard of Dark Souls 2. And what's your name? I'm Tama. It's nice to meet you. Tama, is it? I guess you have a pretty name too. Really? Sure, it's nice to meet you, Tama. Nice to meet you too, Mitsuki. Hey. Tama tugs at my arm, her eyes large and imploring. Now I know your name and you know mine. Does that make us friends? Friends, huh? Tama's a bit too young to be my friend, but it's not like I have droves of people hammering at my door begging for my attention. Depressing though it is, Tama's the first person I've met this week who seems interested in forming any kind of relationship with me. I guess at this point, I should take whatever scraps of kindness I can get. Sure, I'll be your friend. Yay! Thanks, Mitsuki. Tama beams brightly, her woe over her missing key all but forgotten, and I return her smile without thinking. There's a lot of people around Tokyo. I see them crammed on the trains during my morning commute, and striding through the streets as I wend my weary way back home. For some reason though, they never look happy. There isn't enough happiness in the world. I'm glad that, if only for a few seconds, I was able to brighten this young girl's day. All it took was a few words. Man, I wish I was a kid again. Don't we all, Mitsuki, sometimes? Ugh, it's not here either. I sigh and straighten up, wiping my hands on my pants. You sure you dropped your key in the playground, Tama? That's right, at least I think I did. I don't know. One second I had it, and the next it was gone. Are you sure you don't still have it? And when was the last time you saw your key? Tama's brow creases. She shifts from foot to foot, her little fingers clenched at her front. Is she trying to remember through sheer force of will? I guess that's kind of admirable, in a way, but I don't want her to overexert herself. I don't know. I don't know when I last had it. I locked the front door like Mama taught me and I put the key in my pocket, but then... I don't know anything else. That was probably like outside the door or something. I see. If Tama doesn't remember the last time she saw her key, there's a chance she mightn't have dropped it in the playground after all. It could have fallen out of a hole in her pocket when she walked to the convenience store, or while she was examining the cute and colourful snacks lined up on the shelves inside. We've been searching the playground, leaving no pebble unturned for the last half hour or so, but we haven't made any progress. Tama's key continues to elude us no matter how hard we search. My knees and my palms are dirty from kneeling on the ground, and the sky looks greyer and steelier than ever before. It's a blatantly unwelcoming sky, thick with heavy clouds which says in no uncertain terms, leave. A cold wind runs through the small playground. The rusted swing set creaks ominously, and the roundabout turns a few degrees with the dull screech of a medieval torture instrument. I shiver and adjust the strap of my messenger bag over my shoulder. This isn't looking so good. Oh no. Whoops. There's, if you press left bumper, or left, whatever the top one is, yeah, bumper, sure. L, it goes back, which is really, really good. I love that feature. Am I never gonna find my key, Mitsuki? Am I gonna be stuck in this playground forever? What if my mama never comes home? I don't want to stay outside in the playground all night. It's cold here and I'm scared. I want to go home. I miss my mama. She's probably fucking at your house. You've been out here for a while. Tears trickle from Tama's matted eyelashes, but trickle is perhaps too delicate of a word to describe this full-blown fit. Her face is turning red, and round tears the size of 100 yen coins drip down her cheeks. Hey, Tama. I look at the sobbing girl, her tiny body hunched in on itself with trepidation. I want to comfort her, but I don't know what to do. We're still virtual strangers and I don't want to make her feel uncomfortable. I shiver. Overhead, the sky darkens. The clouds look thicker than ever. Any second now it's going to... rain. Looks like it started to rain. Tama sniffles and wraps her arms around her middle. It's cold, my clothes are gonna get wet. I don't like the rain. I don't think anybody likes the rain. Unless you're, like, a tree? Or maybe a lazy, apathetic teenager who really doesn't want to take part in their school's annual sports festival. I've been there myself. Used to pray for the rain before those big sports events every year. It was kind of like a tradition. Though I lived in the countryside during my formative years, I've never been big on athletics. Maybe because of my build, or maybe my constitution. Speaking of which, if I leave Tama in the rain for too long, her constitution's going to take a severe battering. She's only a little kid, and kids catch colds more easily than adults. I don't want her getting sick. It'll probably keep raining for a while. I guess we're going to have to stop looking for your key. We can't keep it up in this weather. Does that mean you're going to leave me out here? I thought we were friends. Of course I'm not going to abandon you, silly. I'm not that heartless. Why don't you come and wait in my apartment for a bit? You can stay with me until the rain lets up, or until your mother comes back. What do you think? Is that really okay? This child is very trusting. Of course it's okay. It's totally fine. What about it? Do you want to come with? If it's alright then, I'd like that. My mama told me not to go running off with strangers, but you're not a stranger. You're my friend. Thank you, Mitsuki. Alright, friend. Hey Mitsuki, you're hurting me. I know that. Why don't you be more careful, you big dummy? I recall the words my mother told me once years ago when I was Tama's age, and I was squirming in her lap just as much as Tama is in mine. It's supposed to hurt. My 6-year-old self was angry at my mother for issuing such a matter-of-fact response, and it looks like Tama's no different. Tama was crying in the park only 10 minutes ago, lamenting her sad fate, but she recovered considerably after her escape from the elements. Now thoroughly re-energized, Tama squirms and kicks and very nearly bashes my nose with her flailing elbow. Why do you want to hurt me? You're mean. I thought we were friends. It's because we're friends I'm fussing over you like this. Good gracious. After he finished drying her hair, he made her dinner, which was nice omelette rice. So we've skipped ahead a little bit, so I just want to see the mother. Been a lot of just this fella and the kids so far. By the time I've finished making Tama's food, the sun has set and the stars have come out to play. Means the mom's been gone for like 4 hours, what the fuck. I flick on the light, then take a seat by Tama's side at the low table in my living/dining room. So, I set a plate of omelette rice on the table before my young guest. I only made one portion, but I'm starting to regret it. That omelette rice looks pretty good if I do say so myself. The omelette is an even yellow colour, a little like the pudding you might buy at a convenience store, but less artificial. The smooth, unbroken omelette is topped with ketchup and filled with rice. The rice itself was fried in a wok, and it's filled with chopped up bits of sausage, carrot, and peas. True to my words, there's not a single green pepper in sight, whole or diced. They both hate green peppers. That was a bonding moment for them. The meal was rather simple to make, and I slapped it together with the few ingredients still in my fridge. I needed to use up my eggs before they went rancid, and the carrots have been lying uneaten in the bottom shelf of my fridge for more than a week. I'm not that bad at cooking, but I don't really like cooking for myself. I can't get fired up when I'm the only person who will eat the finished product. I may sound spoiled, but if I'm going to put in the work, I'd like to be complimented for it. I am very much the opposite. I'd rather just cook for myself. What's the point in trying if nobody knows how much effort you've expended? You have food. During my time in the city, I've been subsiding mostly on microwavable meals and instant noodles. I bought a bunch of groceries when I first moved in with the lofty, idealistic thought that I'd take care of my health and eat 5 fruits or vegetables a day, but that didn't happen. Oh well, at least I had a chance to show off my cooking prowess today. I guess picking up those eggs wasn't a complete waste. Mitsuki. Did you make this yourself? That's right, while you're watching your silly kids anime. Pretty Magical Pumpkin is not silly. Right, I'm sorry. What I meant to say is while you're watching your very smart and clever kids anime. Pretty Magical Pumpkin isn't just for kids, adults watch it too. Well, maybe some weirdos do. Mama watches it with me and she isn't a weirdo. Mama likes pumpkin too, she does. Yeah, I'm sure she does. Anyway, as I was saying, while you're watching your very smart and clever anime, which can be enjoyed by both adults and children worldwide, I glance at Tama. This time she doesn't interrupt. Did those amendments make her happy? I was slaving away in the kitchen preparing this meal just for you. It's made from leftovers, but I hope you like it. Leftovers? Tama pokes her fork into the omelet's soft yellow exterior. She also told him his apartment was shit as well. That was also a nice moment. But it looks like something from a restaurant. Huh, a 5-star restaurant, no doubt. No, one of those shit ones. I don't know about stars, but it looks a lot like the omelettes from Petit Jardin. Ah, a Petit Jardin, huh? Petit Jardins, a pretty well-known chain of family restaurants that serve cheap and cheerful meals for kids and beleaguered parents too exhausted to cook for them. Is Jardin garden, or am I insane? Petite is small. I lived out in the countryside when I was a kid, but whenever I went shopping with my parents in the nearest city, we always stopped by Petit Jardin. I think I celebrated a couple of my birthdays there too. Having my food compared to that of a restaurant isn't bad, I guess. But I'm proud of my cooking, and I'd rather have it likened to something a little more classy. I think she likes the food. That's the update. She does like it. Excellent. Where the fuck is this mother? How could her mother abandon her like this? She must be a cruel, heartless person. When I see her, if I see her, I'd like to give her a piece of my mind. I'll stride right up to her and I'll tell her, Hello? Hello, is anybody here? I'm sorry to bother you, but it's cold and wet out here and I can't help myself. Oh, I'm so worried. If you're here, please let me in. My name is Himuro, and I'm looking for my daughter. Well, I'm gonna give her what for? There she is. Tama's mother doesn't look quite how I imagined her. I was picturing a grumpy, ill-tempered woman, like an evil stepmother from a fairy tale, content to leave her poor young girl out in the cold and the rain. But the actual woman in my apartment kneeling at my low wooden table is the complete opposite of that. Tama's mother, Himuro, did she say her name was? Is hardly an evil, twisted old stepmother. For one thing, she's Tama's birth mother, and for another, there aren't any wrinkles. There are no grey hairs. There might be some purplish blue bags that look like bruises beneath her eyes. And her skin might be a touch too pale. But other than that, she doesn't look a day over 25. She's probably around the same age as I am. Maybe a couple of years older, give or take. I can't exactly call her fresh-faced. She looks too tired for that. There's something kind of soft about her, I guess? If I had to sum up her looks in a single word, it would probably be pretty. Probably. She's not breathtakingly ridiculously gorgeous, like a Hollywood actress on the big screen, but I kind of prefer that. Makes her seem a bit more approachable. And besides, most people don't have teams of makeup artists following them around all day. Mama, I missed you. Tama leans against her mother's side, nuzzling her head against her shoulder like a little lion cub. Tama. Himuro's tired eyes, which look older than the rest of her face, crinkle with relief. She sets her cup of tea on the table with a well-practiced motion, and smiles at her daughter. I'm sorry I got back so late, I really am. You must have been worried sick. It's okay, Mama, I wasn't worried, not one bit. Little liar. Himuro looks just as skeptical as I am because she purses her lips together and frowns. Are you sure you weren't worried? Well, maybe a little, but I wasn't lonely. I was with Mitsuki the whole time. Mitsuki, you mean? Mr. Tanimura? Ah, that's me. You can just call me Mitsuki, though. Mr. Tanimura sounds kind of, you know, like the director of Dark Souls 2. Oh, I see. Then, Mitsuki, is it? Mitsuki? Ah. Somehow the transition from family name to given name feels far too fast. I've only known you for 5 minutes. Don't you think we should slow things down a notch? That's what I want to say, but since I'm the one who suggested we eschew formalities in the first place, it would probably sound ridiculous. Hey, Mitsuki? Tama, still glued to her mother's side like a kernel of sticky rice, blinks at me curiously. Your face has gone all red. Oh, it has? Yeah, you didn't get sunburned, did you? No, I'm fine, ha ha ha. Maybe I should change the subject. That sounds pretty good right about now. So, Himuro. Oh, if you want me to call you Mitsuki, you should probably use my given name too. It would feel awkward otherwise. Well, I don't mind either way, but if that would make you feel more comfortable, then... Well, I don't mind, really. With a small, soft smile, Himuro brushes a few strands of dark hair behind her ear. I'm Kyouko. Kyouko. I taste her name on my tongue. Kyoko's a pretty normal name. In fact, it's so benign it might be a bit disappointing, but I think it suits her. Himuro Kyouko. I guess I would make her daughter Himuro Tama. Okay, well that is a good place to leave this video. I don't know how long it ended up being, but I'm at 35 minutes of recording right now, because I just really wanted to get to the mother. It's kind of nice there was a bit of a slow burn to get there, because presumably the rest of the game is spent with mostly the main character and the mother. But I don't think this will take me very long to finish. If I do finish it, no promises. Yeah, it seems like a nice story. Maybe a little bit short for the price, like $11.99 US for 5 to 6 hours. I mean, that's probably going to take me like 3 to 4, let's be honest. I think it could probably stand to be like $9.99 US. But yeah, it's a nice little story. Ebihime does very nice stories, it's got to be said. And the back button functionality is very, very useful. Big fan of that. Hope Ratalaika Games does that in all of their visual novels they port from now on. There you go, that was The Language of Love. Thank you guys very much for watching. Make sure you give a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!